The rain came down like knives, slicing through the thick canopy of Corcovado National Park, turning the narrow trail into a river of red clay that pulled at Elena Vargas's boots with every step. She was 32, a wildlife photographer from San Jose who lived for the quiet moments, framing a scarlet macaw against emerald leaves or capturing the slow blink of a poison dart frog. She had always been careful, almost obsessive. Permit filed days in advance, routes shared with park rangers, satellite phone fully charged, small day pack with water, energy bars, compass, and a lightweight rain poncho. She told her mother she'd be back in 3 days, kissed her younger brother goodbye with a promise to bring photos of the harpy eagle she'd been chasing for months. On June 12, 2022, she stepped onto the trail at dawn. The air smelled of wet earth, orchids, and distant salt from the Pacific. Birds screamed overhead. Monkeys howled in the distance. She felt alive, focused, ready. But the jungle doesn't read permits or promises. By noon, the sky turned bruised purple. Rain didn't fall. It attacked. Sheets of water erased the path in minutes. Visibility dropped to arm's length. Elena pushed forward, thinking higher ground would be safer. She was wrong, B. One misstep on a slick route, and the world tilted. She fell 30 feet down a ravine, body bouncing off rocks and vines, landing face down in a swollen creek, B. Water roared around her. She clawed to the surface, gasping, spitting, silt. Her backpack, torn open during the tumble, had vanished into the mud or been swept downstream. Satellite phone, screen shattered, dead. Compass, gone. Food, washed away. Her ankle throbbed with white-hot pain. Badly sprained, maybe fractured. Deep cuts on her arms and legs bled freely. Night came fast. She crawled under broad leaves, shivering violently. As the temperature dropped, the jungle woke up around her. Buzzing insects, distant growls, the constant drip of water. She was miles from any marked trail. Barefoot now, alone in the green hell. Days melted into one long nightmare of hunger, pain, and fear. By the second morning, her throat burned with thirst. She cupped rainwater from giant leaves. Bitter, metallic, but it kept her alive. Hunger arrived like a slow hammer. She found termites under loose bark, crushed them between her teeth. Bitter, gritty, protein, On day 4, she spotted a small green lizard basking on a sun-warmed rock. She lunged, missed, lunged again, caught it, smashed its head with a stone, tore it open raw. The guts slid down her throat, She gagged violently, vomited everything, then forced more down. It was fuel or death, Her feet turned into blistered ruins from constant wading, skin peeling in wet gray strips, exposing raw nerves. A deep gash on her calf festered quickly, red, swollen, hot to the touch. By day 8, maggots appeared, tiny white wrigglers moving in the open wound. The smell hit her first, rotting flesh, her own flesh. She screamed, tried to dig them out with a twig, then stopped cold. She remembered old survival shows. Maggots eat dead tissue, prevent gangrene. She let them stay. Every breath carried the stench. Heat baked her during the day, until sweat stung her eyes. Rain chilled her bones at night until her teeth chattered uncontrollably. She built a crude lean-to from palm fronds and vines, her only shelter against the endless downpours. She ate whatever moved. Beetles, ants, more lizards when she could catch them. B. Drank from stagnant puddles. Knowing each sip was a gamble with dysentery or parasites. Hallucinations began around day 12. Her mother's voice called from the ferns. Ven a casa, miga. B. She stumbled toward it, fell into a patch of stinging nettles, thorns tearing fresh skin. Her brother's laugh echoed in the wind. B. She wept silently, curled under the lean-to, wondering if she should just stop breathing. One sharp rock to the wrist would end the pain. B. But she thought of their faces, her mother's worried eyes, her brother's teasing grin, and kept crawling forward, one agonizing inch at a time. B. On day 23, she lay on the bank of a narrow stream, too weak to stand, flies crawling over cracked lips and sunken eyes. B. Her body was skeletal, skin stretched tight over bones, wounds festering under a crust of mud. She had given up waving at planes. She had seen 3 fly over in the last week. Too high, too far. B. Then, voices. Faint at first, then clearer. Spanish. Mira. B. How elas frescas? Alguien estuvo aquí. Local indigenous guides from a nearby community, checking fishing nets, spotted the broken twigs and faint footprints she had left without realizing. B. They followed the trail of disturbance. Found her. She looked like a fallen log at first, mud-caked, unmoving. Then she lifted a trembling hand. B. They froze in horror, then rushed forward. They lifted her gently, wrapped her in blankets, carried her through the mud on an improvised stretcher. B. Hours later, a helicopter met them at a clearing. At the hospital in San Jose, doctors battled for days intravenous fluids, heavy antibiotics, debridement of infected wounds, amputation of 2 gangrenous toes. B. She had lost nearly 60 pounds. When her mother burst into the room, there were no words, just heaving sobs as she held her daughter's frail, trembling body. B. Elena recovered slowly over months. Scars remained, physical and invisible. B. Years later, she said quietly, the jungle took everything from me. Clothes, tools, skin, almost my mind. But it couldn't take the part that refused to quit. Every day since then B. choose to live. She still photographs wildlife. B. But she never walks alone again. Elena Vargas' story is not just another survival tale. It is proof of the unbreakable part inside every human being that refuses to die even when everything else is taken away. B. When clothes tear, tools vanish, food disappears, water turns to poison, that inner voice still whispers, one more step. B. That voice lived inside Elena. In her mother's prayers, in memories of her brother's laugh, in the tiny spark that stayed alive with every lizard she forced down. B. The jungle stripped her bare strength, hope, dignity, but it could not take her will. That will screamed, I did not come here to die. I came here to live. Today, Elena still walks into the rainforest, but never alone. B. She carries a team, a GPS tracker, and something far more valuable, a new way of seeing. She no longer photographs just beauty. She photographs the price of life itself. B. In a quiet interview, years later, she said, every morning, I wake up and remember I was alive yesterday, I'm alive today, and I will be alive tomorrow. B. Breathing, walking, laughing. These small things are treasures the jungle taught me to never take for granted. Her scars still ache, but the pain is no longer suffering. B. It is a reminder of the fight she won. A reminder of the woman who came so close to the edge and chose to step back, B. So if this story touched your heart, if it made your pulse race and your eyes sting with the weight of what one person can endure, smash that like button right now, B. Subscribe to WWW Miracles so you never miss another true survival miracle every week. Hit the bell icon so you get notified the second the next impossible story drops, B. And please drop a comment below. Tell me which survival story you want next. The Colombian kids lost 40 days in the Amazon, or something else that keeps you up at night. I read every sing, B. La one. Because these stories aren't just entertainment, they are evidence, B. Evidence that no matter how dark the jungle gets, how deep the wounds, how loud the despair, as long as there is breath, there is hope. And as long as there is hope, we can win, B. See you in the next miracle. Until then, stay alive, keep fighting, and remember, you have that same unbreakable fire inside you.